Timber gone. Now I need to pick up the slack, and I need to bore you with long tales.
Except Timber was not in this game.
Oh, yeah, but he would have still popped in the chat. But what are you doing?
I'm
Divs is
starting
T-posing
up
to
the
assert
stream.
dominance.
Oh. Tickle him.
What essence are you guys at?
There you go.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, what's your guys' experience at right now? This is actually really important.
Shit, let me check.
20th.
I know I didn't do any leveling.
I believe we're at 20.
20, yeah.
Okay.
Attempted resolved connection to server.
Our illustrious champion returns.
You
Oh,
guys
Zim,
are
you-
almost halfway to leveling up now.
Zim, you had a story?
Well, first off, Nestle, thank you very much for that subscription. Resub. So yes, depleted uranium ring. Years ago, D&D 3.5, I was running a game for my friends. And, you know, 3.5, you can get messed up real easily, and you don't have a long rest that completely restores you to max HP and everything. So, I helped my players out with a little thing I called Foxy. A fox that would pee on them to heal them. Magical. It would poof in and out of existence. But... Well, my first introduction of him was... They had gone into a dungeon. Very first fight, they got wrecked. Just a small group of goblins and a dire rat. And they got destroyed. So they're resting, and I have Foxy pop up to help them out. Well, one of them wakes up to Foxy on them, and he had a signet ring. He tried to... The person on watch was the wizard of the group, who his idea of keeping watch was staring at the fire the entire night. And so the player threw the signet ring at the one on watch, trying to get his attention, rolled an nat 20, nearly knocked out the wizard. The wizard looked around, saw the ring, saw the player. The wizard could not see they could not see Foxy, because Foxy's only visible to the person that it's currently healing. And, yeah, so the wizard threw the ring back, rolled a nat 1, it bounced off the wall, hit the wizard again, and knocked the wizard out. Then it bounced off the wizard back to the first player. He rolled a nat 20, throwing it at another player, trying to wake them up. And another nat 20 woke up that player. They also could not see Foxy and decided to throw it back, rolling a nat 20, knocking out that player, and the player, this kind of thing kept going until literally the entire party managed to knock themselves out with 1d4 points of damage at a time. And just repeated nat 1, nat 20. So that's why I said, you don't need goblins, you don't need squirrels, you don't need anything. Give the group a signet ring and a mystery, and they'll do it themselves. And from there we decided that the ring was clearly made of depleted uranium.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
Fortunately, that was back in the day where we weren't streaming yet. I wish so much that I could have a clip of that.
Now, speaking of clips, the learning time with Zim, the fourth clip that was linked in chat, for whatever reason, it's not loading for me.
I'll be honest, I didn't watch it yet, so...
That was just when you were doing all the narration stuff. And then I showed up and I had a half of a corpse. I was having him dance a jig.
Oh. Well, if it's not loading, then how do you know that that's what that was?
I said the fourth clip. He chopped it into 4 pieces because he got the entire 4-minute section. So, yeah. End result of all that fun stuff at work. Figured just say it now is that I have 2 cases of Pilsner, 2 cases of IPA, 3 cases of some fruity stuff they made. Oh, sorry, 3 cases of Pilsner.
Pretty good haul.
Yeah, considering that it was all free.
Hey, Bowser.
Now that song's stuck in my head. But once you chug that first one down, the rest go easily. So long as you remember that you're drinking them all for free beer, that's my favorite brand. If I didn't have to buy it, it's the best beer in the land. Warm, flat, funky, it don't matter to me. The greatest beer in this whole land's the one you buy for me.
Monty Python?
Believe it or not, no, that's actually Diupers, a regional band from Michigan.
Ah, okay.
But I can see how you would think that it's Monty Python.
Yeah, it sounds like classic them.
Yeah, it does. Oh, so I got the first word wrong. It's once you choke the first one down, not once you chug the one down.
Alright, hello all you wonderful people out there. I am Lazim, and this is Tides of Madness Exalted. I will turn it over now to Nestle for the recap. Because he got fancy new armor.
Okay. Let's see what exactly happened.
You don't remember?
So we
Yeah.
were attacked by an assassin, and what was that big old tentacle monster called? Can't remember what it was called. Some sort of underworld kraken, wasn't it?
Oh, that's right, the Hecton here.
Yes, thank you. That thing. So we were attacked by one of those, and it dragged us into the underworld, or at least into a underworld-esque dimension. And
It was the underworld.
thank you. And then we were beset upon by a basically like a very deadly shadow that I summarily beat up with the assistance of my other fellow Exalted.
He was so effective at beating them up, he even beat me up too.
And
That wasn't his fault. That was him, the attacker, the
I
assassin.
thought it was Toshime that made the shot and got redirected.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, Toshime did some serious damage with the assistance of that aforementioned deadly shadow.
A magnanimous dispensation.
And the dude was wearing some really neat armor that I
Yeah, it was
summarily-
T-51.
And then we had we learned the nefarious plot, which was what's his name?
The Mask of Winners?
Mask of Winners' first and Forsaken Lion, was it?
Yep.
And he is teaming up with or rather attempting to invite the fair folk into creation. Fun times.
He's just that tired of existing.
Apparently, yeah. So, any port in a storm, I guess. And I'm not sure if we decided what we were going to do next.
The dude needs to put serious consideration in just being turned to stone.
The
Yeah,
next idea was, I know the way out of here, and everybody points the same direction.
Yeah, except me. I actually had no idea, so I pointed in a completely opposite direction.
Yeah, full sitcom moment. He's pointing the wrong way, notices everyone else, quickly changes hands.
Yep, exactly.
So, Timmy,
Yes.
Yes.
as Toshime said, looks like the Horde is incoming.
Did he just do it?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Toshime did the thing.
We need to ban donation goals.
Yeah, give it like an hour or two. Let's give the.
No, I'm good with this. Don't worry. You guys have time before it shows up. See,
or-
unlike before, I planned for this now to happen every time, so don't worry about it. I would be more surprised if it didn't happen.
No, wait, I've got it. 1000 IQ play. Add a 0 to the donation goals.
Then we're not going to get anything.
Damn it. Right.
I don't know. I got the feeling that Toshime might drop $500 on us just to spite you. And to make me cry, because I would
wouldn't
literally
be able to
cry.
do it every time.
I want
You
a
wouldn't
sugar
be
daddy.
able to do it every time.
I want a sugar daddy that funds the madness my studio gets up to.
Thank you very much, Toshime. Well, anyways, shall we begin?
Yeah.
Yes, we shall. So, what are you guys up to right now as you guys are still in the castle preparing to travel?
I would be talking to the troops, arranging patrol schedules, making sure that everyone's drilled up on everything they need to be.
Okay.
I think I might have a chat with my armor.
Because the next couple weeks are going to be rough, so I want to make sure that we have full guard at all times.
Also known as talking to myself.
No, it's not talking to yourself. You actually can talk to your armor.
The armor does talk out loud. Everyone can hear it.
Okay, good. That's what I want to clarify.
So Nevis will be making sure his troops are maintaining the patrol route that he lined out. And, meanwhile, he'll be walking around with no name, kind of showing him the ropes as well.
Because I disappeared in the middle of battle last session, I'm assuming my eyes of God caused me to pass out, so I'm sleeping.
Alright, so what are you going to be asking your armor?
Just trying to learn a bit more about it, what it's seen, and it's or for how old it is. You know, how long it's been around, what it's some of the craziest stuff it's seen. Just general, kind of getting to know it.
Okay. It has been... He pauses. Almost... at least thousands of years. I've lost track almost.
Hello?
I was forged back during the first age.
Must have seen some pretty crazy stuff back then.
Oh yes, I was used by one of my old masters in order to assassinate the entire city in one night.
How many masters have wielded you? I've worn you.
5.
I'm honored to be the 6th. Well, 5th.
You are the 5th.
I'm honored.
Is there anything else you desire to know?
Any advice for the challenges we're currently facing?
What specifically do you think you wish to know?
Well, we're currently trying to avoid the destruction of creation, and wondering if you've ever encountered or know anything about the our enemy, and just anything you can suggest as far as trying to avoid this deal from being made.
There is another. There were 2 others that were with my old master. One of them was there against his will. But he was bound and enslaved by the one. His name was... He pauses as though trying to remember something. As though it is extremely difficult for him to remember. The one who laughs in death and madness. Toshime!
Oh boy.
Your character knows that name. Your character would recognize that title. That title is the name of one of the Mask of Winter's Death Knights that ransacked and murdered half of Thorn by themselves.
Crap.
You yourself did not directly encounter them. If you had, you are fairly sure you would not have survived that battle. But he is an extremely powerful necromancer. A very powerful necromancer.
And I'll pass that on. Thankfully, I didn't meet him.
You more heard him giving glorious sermons about the glory of death and how these people should rejoice about an eternity opening up to them as he slayed them or used his undead to slay them.
Yeah, it sounds about right for a necromancer.
A temporary freedom is better than an eternal enslavement. Just saying.
Have you ever been warned by anybody who wasn't evil?
Yes.
Oh, good.
The time where we murdered the entire city, they were a city of primordial worshipping monsters. And we stopped them because they were planning to unleash a great weapon against innocent villagers.
Oh, well, that's good.
And not all of my previous wearers were evil. One of them only mass murdered bad people.
You know,
That's what the Exalted are made for, is to kill things.
I know, but
That is your
get the joke.
purpose.
You get the joke.
Hmm.
Does anybody else have any questions for my new friend here?
Well, I'm not even there, am I?
Yeah, everyone's still here.
I thought I was down talking to the troops. That's what.
But
making
I
little
figured that this would
commentaries.
happen before that.
Well, you also have the soul of your knife.
Oh, is the knife talky as well?
Yes.
If you want to, yeah, he can talk. Mistweaver is his name.
Oh, I thought they came as a set.
Two separate.
They are connected right now, but they are not originally connected.
Oh, okay.
Mistweaver is a separate artifact.
Might as well ask Mistweaver how long it's been around.
A very long time.
How long have you been with the Seven Rings?
Only for the last half a century or so.
You know, only.
Well, to be fair, the last half century has just kind of flown by.
Yeah, it's a blink.
Prior to this, not a whole lot was happening.
And what is the most good aligned thing that you have been used for?
Helping to slay the primordials.
It seemed to be a bad group. Fun times, fun times. And do you have any advice about avoiding this deal? Or this deal not happen?
Kill them.
Ah, yes. That's actually an excellent idea. How useful are you two against Fairfolk?
We can cut through them, no problem.
Oh, good.
That's what we were forged to do, is to fight the enemies of creation.
Excellent. I think
That
we're
is
going to get
very
along
useful.
splendidly.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think I'm about out of questions at the moment. Unless anybody else has any questions for our new party members, more or less.
Unless the artifacts have questions for us.
Yeah, sure. Good question.
What do you intend to do after this?
After we save creation from the Fairfolk?
The same
Mhm.
thing that I do every day, Pinky. Try to defend the world.
Yes, I imagine I'll be just probably exploring and um, trying to help folks out.
He will be serving under me on my grand quest to conquer all of creation, unifying it against the very wilds itself.
Yeah, that sounds legit.
Nevis, small room, big ears. Keep it at about a 9.
Oh, but that was at a 5.
Can confirm.
You don't have a quiet setting, do you?
What is this,
He can't even say the word. He can't even say
No,
the
I
word.
was gesturing to Timmy to remind him to mute his mic. When you're not talking, mute your mic.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect. If it echoes through his mic, that's because he's echoing down the hallways.
Perfect.
What was I saying?
Something about loud. Oh crap.
Oh, yeah. What is this, quiet mode you speak of?
What your parents would have called using your indoor voice.
I was about to say something about trying to sneak through somewhere, but I don't think Nevis does the sneaking bit.
No, he didn't know. He didn't actually learn the word sneak until a seminar at his 75th birthday.
Oh no, I definitely know how to sneak.
You use the
Do
no
you?
witnesses approach, don't you?
Generally.
Yeah, called it.
As long as they don't see me, they get to live.
Just go to one at a time. Did you see me? Oh yeah, you're in front of me. Did you see me? Nope. Carry on.
Awesome.
Nevis is more intelligent than that. It's usually more of a, will you swear fealty to me? And if they don't, then, you know.
Going door to door, stabbing them in the chest.
No, not door to door.
You didn't deny the stabbing them in the chest part.
I'm sorry, what?
I should
gotta
go do a
step away
patrol.
to take my roommate to work. Nevis will be patrolling through the troops and his troops.
Actually, there you go. Perfect timing. I was saying my character's about to go do a patrol. He's like, nope, I'll do it.
But yeah, he's going through his troops and making sure they're all good to go, as well as he is showing No Name the ropes and teaching him a few things on the way.
So as you guys are traveling, in the distance, you can see what looks like a large village. It's somewhat difficult to see due to the fact that the colors are all muted and low tone. You guys stand out very much where everything sort of seems like it's in like shades of white, black, and gray. You guys are basically like the only colored things here.
How much paint do we have? And who wants to volunteer for gantry work?
And also because our essence is of creation, we're putting off a pretty good glow that way also.
Yeah,
That's
no,
not
there's
so
no way
easily
to hide
masked.
this. You guys are things that are alive in the world of the dead.
Yeah, there's no hiding that.
They feel our warmth from
Well,
across
yeah.
the realm.
See, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that there's a lot of things down there that are like, ooh, warm bodies, and they want to come up, kick your soul out, put theirs in, and then use you as a free ride back to creation.
Actually, no. Does anyone have perception? Or sorry, intelligence plus occult?
I haven't.
You guys, anyone who has it may roll.
Perception plus occult?
No, intelligence plus occult.
Alright. I forgot to open my character sheet. Give me a second.
Undead specialty.
Yes, if you have an undead specialty, it does add to this. So plus 3 dice.
Why did that do that?
I need just a second
Well.
here.
The dice don't like me today.
There we go. I'd forgotten to open up my sheet. Come on, finish loading already. There we go. It's intelligence plus occult.
Yep.
Alright.
Hang on a second. I'm just testing a roll real quick.
Okay.
Okay, good. I'm not sure why I printed up artifact all the time up there.
Alright, and the fails negate the ones negate of success, right?
Correct.
Varric, you had a modifier on, that's why.
I did. Oh, I must have accidentally clicked that. Thank you.
Alright. Zusha and Adamant. You both know mostly, for the most part. We lost Tanya. Tanya, are you there?
I might have disconnected.
Yeah, it
She
says they
was
disconnected
lost
Still
on
on
to
the
my
the
end.
call.
underworld.
I'm still on the call. Not sure what that's all about.
That's what I was checking.
Well, Tanya does have people that live with her. Maybe they are talking.
She logged out of Fantasy Grounds, so that's what I think was you saying.
Let's see if we can wait a little bit to see. Let's try to
Hello,
get
hello?
Tanya back. Hey, welcome.
The computer just randomly decided that it didn't like internet. I checked all the cords, everything's good. Roommate's right next to me, his computer is still perfectly fine. Just my computer randomly decided it doesn't like internet.
Huh.
That'll happen.
Probably
Mhm.
just dropped a few packets.
Close that. Attempting resolved connection. And it has to reacquire the file list. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Because it wasn't just Discord, it was everything. And it was for
Mhm.
more than just a couple seconds. Almost back in. I'm staring at a loading screen. There we go. Alright, and I do have my sheet up. However, chat on the server has now been wiped for me.
No worries. So you and Zusha rolled high enough that you guys know this. Normally, the dead in the underworld just kind of didn't leave because they're so attached to their lives or to what they view as theirs. Most of them tend to just repeat or go about the same things that they did in life. Usually, they're going to be just most average ghosts are going to be just like they were in life.
They're an echo, basically.
Mm-hmm. That has refused to move on.
Well, considering this is the underworld, this is like the afterlife thing.
No, it's
Then
not.
refusing. Okay, so this is like a waiting room.
No, this is something that shouldn't have happened ever. The
Purgatory?
underworld, the underworld was created when the primordials died, when some of them were killed.
Oh.
Their strong memories of creation and what they made, basically create chains that bound them to it. Instead of being unmade and falling into oblivion, their memories of creation created the underworld and held them there. The Neverborn, as they are called, seek utter dissolution so they can finally die. And the only way to do that is for creation to fall into the oblivion, which means every living thing, everything on creation needs to be destroyed and unmade.
They better not be metal skeletons full of green smoke, because I've seen this one before. I know how it ends.
No, they're giant eldritch abominations that will drive you insane.
Hello, hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, hello?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Just randomly decided to die again. Thankfully, it came right back this time.
For you guys specifically, well, Toshime would know this because he has a lot of understanding for this. The Death Lords are the direct servants of the Neverborn in carrying out their will. The underworld is a place that shouldn't exist. It never should have come into being. Originally, when a soul died, they would be reincarnated. Their memories would be cleaned away from their soul, and they would reincarnate in a new human body. That was the way creation was meant to work. But when the underworld formed, that created a new place for souls to stay, and those who refused to move on to go where they were supposed to ended up in the underworld.
Unless the reincarnation until enlightenment.
Mm-hmm. Any other
So,
questions?
the city isn't supposed to be here.
Not even supposed to exist, apparently.
Nope. This looks like it's just a large village of dead souls. Likely there's a village corresponding to it in the living world of people who died and passed away, and their souls just continually live in this village that they lived in life.
So just
Other
general.
than, Mhm.
Sorry, I was going to say general question. Souls normally go to the underworld when they die.
No, usually most of the time they will go through what is called Leith, and their memories of life will be basically
Ah,
cleaned off of them, and they will reincarnate.
gotcha.
Usually those who reincarnate or who go to the underworld either have unfinished business or were very tied to life and didn't want to give it up.
So yeah, it's a brief process, and then once their lease is expired, they move to a new residence.
Boo.
Yeah, souls normally are supposed to reincarnate. Or you can help ghosts to move on, to let go. And some people do try to do that. Most ghosts aren't going to cause problems. In fact, they tend to be worshipped by their ancestors, and in exchange, they will give protection and power to the village or their home land in order to
Descendants.
keep it safe. Yep,
From the underworld?
Yeah, they'll be worshipped by their descendants. You said ancestors.
that's what it's called usually.
Yeah, ancestral
Uh,
worship.
Yep, the ancestor cults. They're very popular out here in the Threshold, where there's very little in the way of protection. Their ancestors will be prayed to, and in exchange for that, those prayers and offerings become actual objects in the underworld for the dead to use.
Neat.
So it's a very important thing for the dead to be remembered and be given worship and proper acknowledgement by the living. At least for those who go into the underworld. And here it looks like you have a bustling little village.
Yeah, don't seem to be bothering anybody.
Now, here in the underworld, they're mostly not going to interact much with the living, except unless they are either called or summoned by the dead. Or sorry, they are summoned or called by the living in order to help them.
Or if it's the hungry undead.
Those will be separate from these ones.
Just might need some wood to knock on, but I'm glad that we're up here and not down there.
The hungry dead are specifically bound to the corpse of the person in the living world.
Mm.
They will rise at night in order to seek the living to kill and feed on their blood.
Oh, when I said up here, I was referring to the flying fortress.
I know. I was just explaining some things for those who didn't know. But what do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to go down and check out the village, or do you want to keep going?
I just wonder
I
when the storyteller asks that kind of question.
I feel like there would be nothing to gain by going down there.
All right. They seem to be doing their own thing. I'm not sure if we want to interfere, but
If my character is no longer sleeping, I would mention how we are on a timeline, so we can leave.
Yeah, Night Trotter. There's a basically a great big magic reactor at the heart of the island, and that's what keeps it aloft.
Mm-hmm. Channeling the essence of the land through it.
And we're currently working on reverse engineering a nuclear weapon to give it an orbital death laser.
That won't work.
Let them dream.
As you guys are starting to get closer to the village, a small grayed out pigeon flies up to one of the windows to the main control room and starts tapping on the glass with its beak.
Shoo. Go away.
It probably has a note.
Yes, it does have a note on its leg. This is a
alright.
messenger pigeon.
Great.
Eric's gonna let it in. Probably
Chirp,
gonna regret this.
chirp, 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 chirp. It is an undead bird. It is a ghost bird.
The bird is ringing. All right, I guess I'll grab the note and read it.
Honored guests. I must say, I was surprised upon seeing your castle upon the horizon. I would be honored if you would attend upon me in this village here. Um, I do not wish to take any time out of your busy schedules if you are seeking to do something, but I would enjoy a conversation. Yours in life and death.
The name?
Is there a
Is there a name
signature?
on?
I'm going through his title because it's long.
Oh boy.
The judge of life and death, he who ensures that those who come get what they deserve.
But that's not potentially ominous and double-sided at all.
What is he doing down in that little podunk town?
Toshime, you would recognize this. This is a Death Knight's title.
Well, we better we might as well check in down here. We don't want to
Offend
ruffle
anybody.
too many feathers.
Yeah.
So we have to stop just passing through to tell them that we're just passing through? Even in another reality, I'm subject to bureaucracy. I'll go to the helm and order them to full stop.
Okay.
I guess we're gonna all pile into a dropship.
Yep.
The question is, would people have made sure my character's awake for this? Because I did mention him being passed out.
And did we want to leave somebody up here for protection?
Well, I would actually be making sure that the automatons are on standby, ready to launch if needed.
I would wake up Fabian.
Is it life already?
Kinda. We got a Death Knight requesting our presence down below.
So yeah, it's kind of life, not quite.
Oh boy. And here I thought we could head back to the living. We might as well go.
Well, we are trying to go back to the land of the living, but it appears we have to stop for tea first.
I'll woo them with my song and we can carry on our way.
So you guys all head down then?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
The dropship heads on down. And you can see the people almost look real here. There's a very small translucentness, a little bit of paleness to them, but otherwise they look very much like just like any other living person. Many of them are flocking though to see what's going on.
What I
Flocking,
miss?
you say? They're responding to external stimuli.
A Death Knight invited us down to this city.
a small town that we were passing over sent up a little pigeon. He wants to say hey. So we're all piling
It's a
onto a
trap.
dropship.
Oh,
Probably.
most definitely. It's most definitely a trap, but if we just continue onward, then that means that they'll be pursuing us and they'll have the advantage. At least this way, we know we're going into a trap.
It might not be a trap. You never know.
As you guys make it down there, there are many dead who are actually kind of staring at you guys as though you guys have something that they have lost and it is beautiful to them. Fabian, you're pretty sure they're just staring at you because you're drop dead fucking sexy.
Finally, I look the best.
And you can hear clapping. Welcome, welcome! It's so nice to see the living here for once. and the crowd parts as a figure walks towards you guys. He is dressed in a very nice black and white kimono, the colors going off of each other very beautifully. His hair is pure white, fairly long, tied up.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Tied off in a very long braid. And he's not up quite to your level, Fabian, but he's close, but he's not to you.
He's not fabulous yet.
If
Ooh.
I had any combat skills, I would beat you up, but yet I can only perform song and dance.
He does not look to be to have any weapons on him, or is wearing armor. And he waves you guys forward as he beckons over to a pavilion that had been set up in the town square that was filled with food and drink.
I'm going to add suspicious music as I start to play the flute, an ominous piece.
The food that's prepared here, where did they get it?
It is food from the living world, I can assure you of this. I keep
Now,
some on hand in case I have guests.
I was asking the DM.
We
Food
don't
can be
have a
created.
DM.
Storyteller.
Yeah.
Storyteller. I was asking the storyteller.
Food can be made and created by offerings or by the dead just trying to create it.
Okay.
Might as well
Please.
check it out.
I was quite interested about seeing your floating castle that I simply could not hold myself back. But, of course, when having guests, one must ensure that they have the proper refreshments. I thought we might have a discussion, and I was curious about all of you.
If I appear suspicious, it's nothing against you as a person. It's just the last 3 people that invited us to dinner tried to kill us afterwards.
I have no intention of attempting to kill or harm any of you.
My hamster is getting antsy. If we be
As he
adventurers, let us
looks
adventure.
towards all of you, and I am willing to make an oath to that effect as well.
Looks like we got
Yes,
some
you can. You just have to spend a point of willpower to an oath that was made.
Ha! I will sanctify this oath.
I will also. Just for double.
And I'm thinking of using Judge's Ear technique.
Okay. So both of you guys flare up with essence as you guys both sanctify the oath. So if he breaks this oath, horrible, horrible, horrible things are going to befall him.
Or if we
I mean,
break the
no,
oath.
no. If nothing horrible will befall him if he breaks it, except that I will get his form.
Mm-hmm.
For you. For me, horrible things.
And Judge's Ear technique, he is not lying. He is telling the truth. He does not intend harm on any of you.
Okay. I'll allow it.
There's an oath on the line, and they both seem at ease, so at ease is my suspicions as well.
You may call me the judge if you wish. I know my full title can be a bit of a mouthful. Believe me, sometimes even I forget it. It's so long. But I have no quarrel with any of you. I have no wish to harm or hurt any of you. My duty is to the dead and to the living that they watch over as well. I ensure that the balance is maintained between them, that the dead watch over and protect the living, and that the living give proper due respect and honor to the dead.
Very honorable post.
Yeah. I can't find any faults with it.
I will admit, I have taken life before. I will not hide that. I have killed both the living and the dead for the breaking of this contract.
Well, Who hasn't?
I thought it'd be better to have this right in the open rather than attempt to hide it. As he walks over, sits down, and begins to eat a small cake.
Appreciate your honesty.
I have never seen something so violently pink before in my entire life.
That was random.
There's
Because
influence.
they influenced. And I'll sit down.
I'll sit down too. What would you ask of us?
Well, I suppose Nevis will sit, though I'm sure it will not compare to what he's used to.
Quick question as my character sits down, still playing his music.
Yes.
Alright, now is it just us that came down to the surface, or did we bring some infantry with us?
I think it was just you guys for right now.
Alright then.
Nevis always has his vanguard with him.
Okay.
Just a selection, rotating,
Your bodyguards, basically. Okay.
And I take it if they're your vanguard, they don't listen to shit that Adamant says. That's only you.
They're his
Yeah.
army.
Yeah.
Would
Fabian, what were you
Sorry, I just want to ask my question, but you first.
No, I was asking what your question was.
Would the Death Knight count as a spirit or shade?
No.
Good, I'm just checking because of my ability.
Yep, he is specifically a living being. He is infused with the essence of death, but he is not himself dead or undead. He is perfectly alive.
Just for those who don't know, my diplomatic immunity is for more than just Fey folk. It also works on demon princes of hell, spirits, and shades.
Nice.
Some serious diplomatic immunity.
Apparently,
The hell?
Timmy forgot something that Jim has.
Did I just hear the storyteller die?
It doesn't matter. You can say it's business.
Did we escape the simulation? Are we free?
No, so back in 2nd edition, there were specific rules for diplomatic immunity for it. It only affected the fair folk and the Ozai specifically. So you could go up against a fair folk or any of their demons, and they could not attack you unless you broke the truce first. They added the dead to it in 3rd edition, and I didn't realize that.
Oof.
Which means
Ouch.
intense internal screaming.
If you want to mute your mic. The basics of it, just so everyone knows the exacts, is as long as I approach them on legitimate business of some kind, shade spirits, the demon princes of hell, and the fair folk may not attack the eclipse or her companions without just cause, and such creatures must observe the local rules of hospitality. They may still attempt to provoke members of my ambassador into breaking the peace, and if we do break the peace in any way, my diplomatic immunity is gone.
At least in regards to that specific creature, those specific creatures and such. Yeah, no, it's they will try. They know about this. They will try specifically to provoke you to break it, or someone in your party to break it.
I will drown out their insults in my song.
Oh no, they're just going to bring out a group of children and start cooking and torturing them in front of you, as that is local hospitality, to offer you some of their greatest, freshest meat.
Oh dear. I think I'll be fine with the cake.
I mean, that's something like the demons would do. Specifically to try to make you attack them.
I was describing the stream clip, and then I came back to us roasting children on a pyre. What's going on?
It's DOC hospitality, not here.
Mm-hmm.
She went to 0 to 100 real quick.
So, Yeah, you guys would realize that right now you are all perfectly safe from being attacked, though, still. He is under oath, and the dead around you guys can't attack while you are on official diplomatic business with him, as you are right now.
The downsides of sending paper.
So if we don't hurt them, they can't hurt us. Is that what's going on?
Correct. At least the dead cannot. And he is under oath right now not to harm any of you.
Okay.
Technically, he can, but something bad would happen to him.
Very bad would happen to him.
And I would know
Like-
the second he makes even a slightest move against us.
One of the reasons that I attempted to call you here is because you were about to head into the lairs of a hecaton here, both north and east. And I thought it well mannered in order to, well, inform you of this before you went flying off to your doom.
We just got away from one of those. How many of them are around here?
Many of them.
At least two
They've been
more.
dra-
apparently.
They've been dragged out of the labyrinth in order to serve as war machines for the Mask of Winter's conquests. And with all the death that has been going on recently, it has stirred them from their slumber in the labyrinth.
So we've been going through a minefield and just got lucky this far.
Yes, for the most part. My guess is you were likely dragged here in order to prevent you from doing anything to stop whoever pulled you here.
Oh yeah, I'm
Stands to reason.
fairly certain that's exactly what happened. They already tried to kill us once. Probably gonna try it again before we get out of here. One of the main reasons that we were very suspicious at your invitation.
I have no desire to harm you. My duty is to the dead and to the living that they came from.
We
I am
appreciate
no
the warning.
enemy of creation. I have no need to be. All things end in time.
Damn it. Your net's still perfectly fine, right?
What? Yeah.
We appreciate the warning.
And yes. He is eating from the super pink frosted cake very casually.
How was that cake?
So, what do you recommend for us then?
The only clear path to get where you need to go would be heading south and then moving southeast. That would allow you to get where I would assume you're attempting to reach, the Shadowland over there. It is the nearest one.
How long would that take?
A week, I would say.
There we go, I'm back.
Didn't we only have like 3 or 4 days until the next day we could go back?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can hear you. That'd be going the way you guys were going. This would be having to go around, and you would be losing some time.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with my internet. Like I said, for everyone else, it's perfectly fine. It's just my computer keeps deciding that it doesn't have internet at regular intervals.
Try restart.
Just restarted it yet? No, it was yesterday. It has been on for a day.
Instead of resetting your entire computer, you could just reset its connection to the internet.
Fair point. Give me a sec.
Uninstall the network card and let it reinstall when you restart or something. And drivers, I meant. Well, this certainly puts a bit of a damper on our plans, doesn't it?
Alright.
So, storyteller,
I'm gonna refresh the drivers. I'm gonna lose connection for just a sec.
Okay.
Good luck.
see you soon. So, we needed to get to the Shadowland at a certain time. I think it was a new moon or something, so we can go back. And that was within, I think, 4 or 5 days. We were supposed to get there within 3 or 4, and now it's going to take a week. Right?
No. You just need to be able to go through it at night.
Okay.
Alright, disabled and re-enabled the Ethernet. If it does lose connection again, I'm keeping the network center open so that I can immediately click diagnose and see what's wrong.
And how far away is calibration?
Oh, you have plenty of time before calibration. You have probably 5-6 months.
Okay. Just in case people were wondering about when it was. Because that's the fun time.
Yep, you're fine right now.
Alright, acquiring file list for the third time.
Did we get a name for the Death Knight?
The judge is what he usually goes by.
So, Judge, is there any other reason you called us down here?
Oh yes, I was also going to inform you about one of my companions is due to be trying to kill you when you head south.
That is also good information.
So,
Any
if we can
particular reason why they're trying to kill us?
Oh, to stop you from disrupting the massive winters and the First and Forsaken Lions task.
Oh, that checks out.
So you're saying if we go the way we're planning to, we're going to be attacked, and if we go your way, we're going to be attacked.
Yes, it's simply the matter of what you wish to face.
Thanks for being honest. Any suggestions as to how to overcome him?
If you head to the... If you head towards the east... No, that won't work. You basically have the choice of facing the Hecton Hare or the one of the ones after you.
How intelligent are Hecton hares?
Depends on the one. Some
The
of
one
them
up
can be
north.
frighteningly intelligent.
Personally,
Eh.
I think that we already... We shouldn't go against the Hecton Hare. But it's
Well-
ultimately up to the group.
The Hecton Hare was the thing that dragged us down here. But we do know for sure that the other one will likely follow us up to the surface.
Take it out so that it can't follow.
That was my idea, yes.
I was contemplating ways to get past it without having to risk the fortress, but it's a solid. You've got a solid idea there.
We are a beacon of life. We're going to attract them anyway we go by them.
Exactly. Which means that when we do leave, assuming we successfully get out of here, we'll have to guard the gate until it closes so that nothing follows us out.
Oh dear. Doesn't have to be any way of avoiding their notice, is there?
Depends on what kinds of magic and such that they're employing to try to see you.
Well, you could just turn everybody here to stone and put the curse on a timer. But there are problems with that.
Big guy on yours have a cloak by any chance?
A what?
A cloak. Just kidding.
Yeah, just put a gigantic rain cloak over the entire fortress.
Or cover it with a sheet or something. I think it's a cloud.
Well,
Remember, any frost giant could actually be 3 fortresses and a raincoat.
if they're going to be after us anyway, we shall march south. At the ready, flags raised high, with my music blaring, and take out the threat.
If I didn't know any better, I would say I detect a hint of excitement in those words.
I need to put on a good show.
Just a little footnote here. If we're going into a fight that we know is coming, a good chunk of my character's charms are built around boosting infantry units.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to have a chance to use those before the engagement.
Okay.
Which would be less dangerous? Your friend or your associate?
Compatriot?
Compatriot? Yes, thank you. Or the Hectare?
The Hecton here. No. Actually, likely my compatriot. He'd probably be... He'd probably be far more after you than the Hecton here would, but the Hecton here is likely much stronger than he is.
Creation would notice the Hecton here quicker than the associate.
Mm-hmm.
If only there was a certain dragon that was actually doing their job, that we could just, drag it towards them and have them deal with it.
Any other advice for us?
That my compatriot has a slave with him, one of the Exalted, and he would likely use him against you first before revealing himself to you.
Enslaved how?
Slave caller. As well as dark necromantic enchantments.
Do we know what a slave collar is?
You may make a intelligence plus occult roll.
I need me some occult experience.
Nevis has no idea.
It's a collar a slave wears. No. This is for Nevis. It's a collar a slave wears, right? Fabian and Zusha, you guys would both know. This is a collar that the guild would put on a slave usually. It completely usually suppresses the will of the person wearing it and forces them to obey the one who put it on them.
Good to know. Now, do we know if it's safe to take off?
Yes, it is.
Is it easily cut by a dagger?
No, this is like an artifact level item.
Figured.
Any other questions about it or anything else?
Who made this cake? It's delicious.
Did you have any questions for us?
Oh, I'm quite curious to see if you're going to survive or not.
We hear that a lot.
Yes, so are we.
I have one question. You mentioned they have a solar here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the solar just as bright and vibrant as us, or are they hiding their presence somehow?
He is bound to the will of the one who's hunting you. But he is alive.
Well, my vote is we go save the solar.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I concur.
To battle and glory it is. I shall perform my ban for the battle song.
Anything else that you guys would like to do?
I'm just very quickly looking up my abilities right now.
Okay.
When we get back, I'll activate spirit detecting glance, which just lets me see immaterial spirits.
Okay.
I will get my little group of performers and start to play in the hall.
Okay.
Anybody else?
I think I'm ready to go. I'm gonna thank the
Thank-
judge, of course.
Yep, thank him for his time.
Okay. And if you
Very
do
much for the invite.
survive and make it back into the living world, I will look you up again.
By all means. Let us know if there's anything we can do for you in exchange for this valuable information.
But of course.
Well, nothing for it but to get back on and head off to glorious battle.
Agreed.
Did you try to time that with stream writers?
No, I did not. But that would have been great.
All right. So I was just paddling through my abilities, rebriefing myself on them, and yeah, immediately before the confrontation, I would like to use Heart-Stirring Expression and Argent Revelry Festival
Okay.
to give a speech to mine and Nevis's troops.
Okay.
that would 8 motes that I would expend to give those. But then again, that's what my character's meant for, is to actually command the troops, not... All of my abilities are about boosting them, but the only thing I have going for me when I'm actually fighting on the front lines is that I'm hard to hit. Which proved to not be true in the last interaction. Got a
How,
5 dex, 3 dodge, and somehow I still get hit.
I was going to say, what do you say to them, though?
Okay. We find ourselves in a very precarious situation. We are isolated from creation, but we are by no means trapped. There exists before us a path back. Standing in that path is a beast of the very nature of the one that drug us here in the first place. The last time that we confronted one of them, it humiliated us. It embarrassed us. Our defenses were useless. It grabbed us like a toy. Are you going to let that happen a second time? Are you going to let us be caught unaware? We are not going to flee from this creature. We are not going to attempt to evade it. We are going to shove our fortress right down its throat and tear out its heart. There's no doubt that some of us may die. But I can guarantee you, one of the things dying today will be that beast.
I will let you make a presence plus charisma roll with 2 automatic successes and plus 3 dice.
Alright. So it was diplomacy plus what?
It is going to be charisma plus presence.
Charisma plus presence. Charisma plus presence and what else?
Plus 3. And then you get 2 automatic successes.
So do I just add outside the 2 automatic successes afterwards?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why are there 3 fails in there?
Oof.
You
Reroll
can
that one.
spend. Yeah.
You can spend a point of willpower to re-roll this if you wish.
I am spending.
When do we regain willpower?
When you sleep. Or do something epic.
5. 6. Yeah, it was 9 total. The dice hate me. There's 1 success in there. Fucking 1!
There's 2, a 9 and an 8.
There's a 1 that negates one of them.
Oh yeah.
You got 2 automatic successes, though, so that's 3 successes.
Fair. So I'm gonna go with 3, I guess. Okay. I spend all of those points, and I even bother coming up with this stirring speech on the fly, and that's what the dice reward me with.
That's a success, though.
Well, you said
Fair
you
enough, I
used
guess.
points for charms, so did you have anything that gave double 9s or something?
Let me go back to the sheet here. Did I seriously close that? There it is. Okay. Oh, Protean. The Argent Revelry Festival, Protean. In an animal shape that plays a significant role in the custom invoked, or a human shape leading the custom, the lunar rerolls 5s and 6s until they cease to appear. In this case, the custom is that they're defenders of creation. And, well, obviously she's a leader of that custom because general. So, there are 2 6s in there. Come on, give me something. One fail, one botch, one pass. So
Roll
that
that.
didn't change anything.
I try to help.
I know. The dice just hate me is all. Why is Tsunai watching the stream? Then I'd be getting straight 10s. By the way, you said that passes though?
Yes.
So for Argent Revelry Festival, she, come on, brain's locking up here. Yet inspired them with pride for their culture, they can't opt not to assert resolve against the rule. Each affected character gains a pool of bonus dice equal to the Lunar's extra successes over his resolve.
Bathroom.
These can be added to any social or mental rolls a character makes to protect that culture or achieve its goals. So basically, the intention here is to give them protection against any fear or confusion type stuff that it could do. And then heart-stirring expression is stoking our satisfaction through insights overwhelming emotion. A successful inspire roll grants all affected characters a bonus die on all mental or social actions supported by the inspired emotion, but imposes a -3 penalty on mental or social rolls opposed by it. A warrior inspired with rage would gain a bonus on threaten rolls to intimidate foes or start fights, but suffer a penalty on influence rolls to negotiate his surrender. So yeah, one of them gives them. Yeah, one of them will give a bonus die on defense against mental effects that the creature would try to do against them, and one of them will give a bonus on any mental effects they try to do against it. And we'll giving it a -3 on anything it does to them.
Oh, nice, nice. Anything else anyone else wants to do before we continue?
Could I inspire the troops with music?
Actually,
Sure.
just quick side note: Argent Revelry Festival does require that I have someone else of the same culture that is there with me. So Nevis would have to be there too, being also a military leader. So he would have an opportunity.
Performance roll. Mm-hmm.
I suppose Nevis can deign to attend.
Well, I'm giving a rousing speech to the troops.
+3.
Really, Toshimi?
The donation goal has been reached.
Fuck it.
What happened?
Why?
I changed the
See what
donation
happens
goal
when-
for my cell service, and it's been completed. So, yay! Thank you so much, Toshime.
See, I'm telling you, just add a 0 and Toshime will buy you a new house. Look at all those 9s. 8. Where does he get all the good dice?
I don't know if this is good enough, so I'm going to use my 2 supplements. One giving me double 9s, and the other one letting me re-roll 1s until they stop appearing. I have 10.
As you begin the epic, glorious theme music bonus go. Yeah, you definitely got everyone in the mood to fight.
Swear to God, if you complete this donation goal, I am going to refund it, Toshime.
Just add a single cent, see what he's gonna be like, no!
Do it.
I
No,
can't quite do that one.
$1,000.
How about we make it so Toshime buys his dinner if he donates again. Pays for our dinner today, and we can get like Olive Garden.
So you're suggesting a swear jar, but for donating?
I'm sure if I did complete that one, that my credit card company would put a hold on my card.
Oh God, you're donating with your credit card? Don't put yourself in debt for me.
Because I have to use my debit card through PayPal.
Oh, debit card.
Yeah,
Okay,
debit.
okay.
Debit's different. Yeah, I do everything on debit card.
So yes, your army is ready to go. Your army is prepared. They are cheering. They are excited getting into the battle as you guys head off, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, we're heading straight towards the thing.
Yay,
If
we're
we
all
gotta
gonna
take it on, then we're gonna take it on.
Which creature are you going after?
The big tentacle daddy. I thought that's what we were going after.
The Hecton here, or the or the undead army?
I thought we were saving the solar. And he's slave to the Death Knight?
Yes.
That must have happened when I was having the internet connection issues.
Ah.
Either way, there's a large army we're fighting, so your speech wasn't necessarily wrong.
Well, just revise it in your memory and call it a day.
There are Exalted who can do that.
Oh, Reginald! I need your services for a moment. I appear to have made a social faux pas.
Yes, they can do that.
So I guess we're going to rescue the guy then, and pretend that my speech was about fighting the undead that seek to encroach upon creation because they hate it, apparently.
And as you guys go and travel, you soon come upon a vast army of undead soldiers, clad in armor, and a figure standing at the front of them. He has no armor, no shirt, abs that look like you can grate cheese on them. I mean, what?
Fabian, he's trying to assert dominance over you.
I will rip off my own shirt. Nah, I'm joking. I look better with it.
He has a jagged black collar around his neck, and he has a long sheathed sword in one hand. And around this army, this is the first thing you notice as you got closer. There is a storm raging around them.
Toshime, thank you so very much.
Wait, Tosh-
Wait,
Enjoy
Toshime,
our
do.
garden.
Oh, okay. I I look over. I just see 100%. I'm like, no, he fucking didn't.
No,
Like, it's just-
if he
it's
donated $6,000, I would have just walked away and not said anything and probably gone and cried in my bed.
I don't need a cook tonight. Dobby has been freed.
Can we shall we worship at the altar of Toshime for giving us food for Dindin?
I think that'd be appropriate.
Just
Toshime next.
FYI, I planned for $20 each, so.
Toshime, whenever I next run red flags, which should be next week, you just let me know if you want like something done. I'll get it done.
I'll probably be working at that time though.
Hey, don't worry, Toshime. Also, I kind of owe you two for tomorrow. Oh God, tomorrow. Oh, by the way, I need everyone to make an athletics plus dexterity roll.
Oh dear, here we go.
Yep, there it is. I have no points in athletics.
I have a few.
Quick
Wait.
question.
Yeah.
Will parkour help me with this?
My dice aren't processing. There they go.
Yes, I will allow parkour to help with this.
Is this someone doing something to us? It doesn't matter if I don't know. Is this someone using an ability against us?
Yes.
They have to make a check.
What do they need to make a check?
I have respect, command, and attitude. Everyone who is listening to the performance stops and listens to the entirety of it, and they require 2 will to be spent to interrupt or attack me / anyone in the performance.
No, you're right. Yeah, he will spend the willpower.
This is the true power of my song.
Holy fuck, Varric! I thought I got a good roll.
Parkour, bitch.
The count is 10 counts as 2.
Correct, and then you re-roll it again.
Right. I
And then
did
the
that.
1
So
is a
4,
-1.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Wait, so is he just like causing the ground to shake or whatever?
No. Because right now you guys are flying into a raging storm. Note for those who rolled those successes in the underworld, you guys know this shouldn't be possible.
I would like to point out that I have a gem of fair winds.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Got it.
So, how it works is they may spend 1 willpower to leave the performance, which they were not around when it started, so I don't think they would need to pay that. 2 willpower to try to interrupt my performance, which I'm sure this would do. Any affected character's actions is capped based on their charisma and performance ratings until my act is stopped. And I can't do this after battle has started, but if I do this before battle, I can continue this until someone stops me.
Okay.
I like music.
So, as you guys are flying through this raging storm, Adamant, your stone should keep everything fair and normal. It's not working, though, against this galing storm that's threatening to throw your ship into the ground. Your castle is being threatened by this. This shouldn't be possible, especially down here in the underworld. There shouldn't even be weather down here.
All right, what's the air terrain around the area?
It looks like mostly open, a little bit of forests, but more shrublands it looks like right now.
What kind of forests? Small trees, big trees?
Small trees.
All right. Going to instruct the helm to conduct an emergency landing in the forest with the small trees.
Hang on.
Holy crap, that was a lot of dice.
I don't like this game because of that.
I'll warn you, this is sorcery happening.
No, it's not. So you guys can see the army of undead. You guys were able to see that. And you could see the figure that was at the front with the sword. And you see him as you guys have gotten closer, as he lifts the sword and sheathes it. And when he sheathes the sword, the entire storm stops before a massive bolt of lightning comes down and strikes and cuts into the fortress and sends it tumbling to the ground.
Well, we were already braced for impact, so.
Crap.
All of you, though, were able to brace for impact and avoid getting hurled off or out of the room when you crashed.
Since I braced, am I forced to stop my performance?
No.
Right. So we are officially on the ground. This was immediately after the speech that I just gave.
Yes, a couple minutes after, yeah.
Oh, I'm
We are
burned through
fighting
most,
an army. Some of us might die, but we will defeat, and we're dying.
As giant bolts of pure black lightning lance through the castle and the territory under it and cleaved through it to bring it down. It looks like it could be repaired, but it's not going anywhere for a little bit. Before you can see the army of undead start moving forward, and at the front of it is this figure. As
Okay,
he
well,
draws the sword again, and a small storm begins to erupt above him.
I'm going to use Lion's voice command to be heard over the storm, and say,
It's
"You
not too
all know."
loud. It's barely started so far.
Well, still, so I can be heard by everyone.
hmm
You all know your jobs. Make 'em pay.
I think it's time to get ready. You guys will have a few minutes to prepare and get your army together and prepare for joint battle.
By the way, I'm also already down to 6 motes remaining. But I've buffed the shit out of our troops, so hopefully that'll help.
Конфеточку отдай. Ты что? Ты что? Жук, ты что?
So is there anything you guys want to do as you get your armies together?
Are these considered creatures of darkness?
Yes.
Now, what exactly do Inspire rolls do? Because that's what Lion Voice Command does.
They can give bonuses to emotions and such, and to intimacies.
Is it too late to use Blinding Battle thing?
No, yeah, you guys haven't joined battle yet. Their army is still like 10 minutes away from you. They're coming towards you guys now. So you guys have a little bit of time to prepare, get ready, come up with your strategy, and like actually like get your armies together and formed up before they will arrive.
Gotcha.
Well, obviously, all of the automatons would be deploying right now, and I'd be having my troops taking up defensive positions around the perimeter.
Favian is going to throw on a lovely long coat that looks sturdier than most, yet it still fits his more dramatic appearance, and hold his lutes as he stands in front of the armies that are preparing and plays his music.
Yeah, he's looking fabulous as usual.
Just wait, when I spend my experience, I will have something to make me on par with gods.
Nevis will be arranging his troops, the default arrangement. Timmy?
Yeah.
The default arrangement, 2 groups to either side with him in the center. Alongside not Nevis. Alongside Ferris, No Name, and possibly his Solar.
Okay.
Actually, if I can get the Solar to do what I want, then I'll have him in the center of, like, Ferris in one army, the Solar in another army. I can never remember the name of the Solar. With me in the center between the 2 groups. Windcut Diamond, that's who it was.
Yep, wind.
So kind of a question. Blinding Battle Feint lets me use Dex and Stealth, which is 10. And my normal join battle is 9 with 3 successes plus 1. So is there any particular advantage to using that, aside from it being counting as stealth?
It also allows you, when you use it, to immediately you go into stealth against anyone who you beat in join battle.
Okay, but I don't get the 3 successes though.
Yeah, you still get the +3.
Okay, all right, cool. I'll do that then. I'll look for the nearest shadow and kind of slip into it.
You have a stealth suit. You can just activate and go invisible.
Oh, bink.
And I'm going to activate the Gem of Day's Light.
What?
The Hearthstone is a yellow gem burning with an inner light. It allows the Exalt who owns it to travel confidently, knowing the light of the unconquered sun will be with her. It illuminates like a miniature sun, illuminating everything within a mile radius with the light of day.
I think Timmy knows what it is. I think it's more he did not expect you to have it.
I was letting everybody else know.
I think you broke him.
Hey, undead army, sunlight.
I haven't heard him cry like this in a while, and I love it.
You know, I feel like this is now interrupting when I was supposed to get my artifact.
I was planning all this out, and I started up all this undead army. And it's like, yes, this is going to be a glorious battle between glorious warlords and their forces. It's going to be, I can show you guys real joint battle, and as you watch, it's over about 3/4 of the army just vanish and burn away under that light.
Wah, wah.
I told you I was socketing it last time.
You should know. See, planning, that was your mistake. No plan survives contact with the player. Anyways, I'm gonna clip this emotional breakdown real quick here.
I just forgot about the Hearthstone. I had big plans for something glorious and epic to happen for you guys. And Hearthstone just went boop, light, burn. As the Hearthstone flares with glorious daylight, and that light causes almost all of the ghostly undead to just burn in white fire and flames.
That was easy.
It's almost like ghosts can't go out into the daylight without dying.
So I'm assuming there's no shadows for me to hide in anymore. So I'm just kind of.
No,
You have stealth suit. You're just still invisible.
Okay, cool.
and if you activate your anima banner, you automatically have a stealth.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Sorry, processing right now. You just kind of ate my army. Well, that happened. Okay, I have. Well, I regret my life choices. As you see the solar pause, the one that has the collar around his neck, look behind him, as basically his entire army is just incinerated, and he just lets out a sigh.
You and what army?
Do you actually say that out loud?
Sure!
You see him stop and smile before reaching out a hand, and he seems to grab something and pull it out. It is what looks like a blade made of flesh. He spins it. What army? Me and this army. As he jabs it into the ground, and from it, demonic beasts begin to burst out of the earth as the sword descends down into it.
Great! Toshime, you made it worse.
I think your comment was the one that drew the blade.
I'm still blaming you.
Okay, there we go. I've now,
It's
clicked
an
it.
army of undead, we're now fighting an army of demons. Give me a second, because I need to get the stats up.
So that's what I missed.
Don't worry, guys. I can distract the general. You take out the demons.
As you see a figure stepping forward. A roar coming from him. Finally! Once more into creation! Prepare yourselves for battle! Everyone may make occult plus intelligence rolls.
These are always the easiest rolls for me.
Undead specialty.
All of my rolls suck.
Not
Yes.
undead.
Okay.
Oh. Oh no, I did bad.
Oh no.
If you have any charms in that, yes. Or if it's your specialty. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I just rolled bad.
Okay, Adaman's got us covered.
I named thee.
I was the one who thought you into existence.
Greg? Is that you? It's been like 5 centuries. What have you been up to?
Adamant, this is Octavian the Living Tower, the Quarter Prince, demon of the Second Circle, and considered to be the greatest general in Hell's armies.
He would look fine over Nevis's mantle, wouldn't he?
Give me a second. Hang on. I want to see if I can find a picture of him real quick.
I just love that twice in one session we've completely broken the storyteller.
It happens.
So the guy's down an army, down 2 willpower, Anything else we did?
He now summoned the big guns.
We probably insulted his mom somewhere in there.
I feel like, I don't know why, but I just feel like this army didn't even exist until a couple seconds ago.
Well, yes, he summoned them. Duh.
That's not what I meant.
Don't worry about it. But don't worry about it. This is close enough. Give me a second. I'm posting a thing in the tabletop images.
You're crackling a little.
Distortion.
I'll be right back. So apparently the DM forgot that one of us had an artifact that can make sunlight
Storytelling.
and sent a mess. Oh, is my mic still on? Oh
Yeah.
yes it is.
Hello.
That's Octavian, though, in the tabletop images.
I will bring it up on stream.
Though Tanya was going to talk smack behind someone's back and they can hear you.
Oh, he's a looker.
I mean, based on how Timmy's been having it, he probably has appearance 1000 just to have more than me.
Dibs is throwing shade on your guys who can't survive having shade thrown on them.
Beside him is a very large insect, almost like a dragonfly, but with brilliant rainbow-hued wings and scales that are absolutely beautiful to look upon.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Haven't died again there.
Stop it.
Yeah.
So,
So, what are you guys going to do now?
The same thing we were gonna do before, just harder.
Join battle?
Okay, so this is going to be a 3 sort of separate fights. Who's going to go after the solar? Who is going to face Octavian? And I'm assuming the armies are going to be going after the armies.
I can handle the army versus army stuff.
How many people here have a cult?
I have a cult. Got 2 points in
I
it.
do.
I do not.
People with a cult can just banish the second circle demon.
Wait, what?
They would need sorcery to do that.
I don't think I have sorcery.
Tales of our endeavors proliferate.
Oh no.
Just a host.
Oh. Okay.
Hey, odds on.
Okay. It's just a host. I thought that someone did an influence again.
Yeah, there wasn't anything about
Hamsters.
banishment in the 3rd edition, so
Oh.
Yeah, it
Man,
would take full.
okay.
It would take either sorcery in order to do it, to stop it, or you would have to actually kill him and send him back.
Well, I can aid with either.
I'm guessing Zim's leading his army.
Oh, I apparently was unmuted this entire time. And then I muted myself trying to speak. Yes, Nevis will be leading his forces against the demonic army.
Well, I'll help take on Solar, because if we get the collar off Solar, Solar can help us.
I'm wondering who needs help more. It's supposed to be easier for me to take out a demon than to try to not take out a solar, because last time.
From the occult roles, you guys know Octavian is basically one of the greatest martial demons. He is one of the only demons to have ever taken over 3 layers of hell on his own. And he is extremely powerful and dangerous. If you try to straight up fight him, you better be ready to face him in full battle. Otherwise, you would need either to hit and run or to keep avoiding him. So someone like you would probably be able to avoid him best.
Okay. I'm gonna fight a demon.
And I'll be ranged support against the demon.
Only one fight in Solar. Woo!
How many range bands is he going to be away?
They're probably going to try to close, but first,
Nature
we
and
have a roll to make. This is probably going to take the rest of today and tomorrow, or next week as well, for this battle. Zim, since you are going to be leading the army, I need you to make a roll for me.
Made a roll.
Nice.
Tell me that'll give me something.
We'll see. I need an intelligence plus war roll.
Do I need to also do that? Because I'm also commanding troops.
Yes. Unless you guys are working together.
Well, I would assume we'd both be defending, unless he wants to actually take the offensive.
This is actually for something specific.
Well, we would be working together on the fight, so we'd both be in command position.
So it'd be one or the other.
Alright. Well, yeah, he gets 10 dice for that. I would get 7 dice for that. So.
Let me just check his charms real quick.
Wait. Yeah, you doubled it.
Alright. He does not have any charms like that. Okay. So you win the strategic maneuver roll. You are able to add a stratagem to the battle.
What is a success to a strategic maneuver roll?
That means, that's what I was actually getting it up for. It means you can add basically a bonus to your army or a penalty to their army. For example, one of the things you could add right now is a pincer attack. The victorious general will raise their forces to attack their opponent on several fronts simultaneously. The enemy force is considered to suffer a -1 onslaught penalty throughout the entirety of the battle. Basically, you and her armies flank them and start going after them because they were so focused on getting to you.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
I did say that I was having the automatons being deployed actively, so yeah. The machines would be participating in the flank, while the main infantry force would still be in defensive positions at the fortress.
So, out of curiosity, I've got 2 charms here that have to do with the strategic maneuver roll. Do they, since I won, do they matter anymore, or?
What do they do exactly?
Urgent pack formation, the Lunar's all-encompassing understanding of her forces ensures their deployment makes the most of their strengths. She adds a success to a strategic maneuver roll and ignores penalties equal to the highest might +1 of any allied battle group. And Predator's deadly cunning, the movement of armies, battlefield geography, supply lines, and countless other details whirl through the Lunar's mind as she devises her strategy. She adds higher of essence or 3 dice on a strategic maneuver roll, re-rolling ones until they cease to appear. Sorry, I'm still trying to learn this, so...
Those are charms that you could have used, yes, to basically give you bonuses on your dice roll against them. As you bring your more intelligent...
You're muted.
Basically, those are charms that you could have used during this roll. You'd have
Thankfully-
declared that you were using them.
Thankfully, we actually could hear him. He was hot micing through one of you.
And when he does, basically that will increase the number of dice you roll as you bring your battle prowess to the fore.
Okay, so it's something to roll before. Got it.
Yes, yep. Most ones will be before. Alright, so I have this now. There looks to be almost 1,000 of these giant red-skinned apes moving out in basically total formation. And they are moving right towards your army.
So sorry, that just something just occurred to me. What basically happened when he pulled out the sunlight thing? The gem?
Mm-hmm.
Dad, they're being mean to me. What?
It's also fun to think that like all the ghosts that burned away just became demons.
Actually, I think I'm going to stop it here real quick because I need to actually get these creatures statted out. Because there's some big bonuses that they're going to get due to what was used.
Turns out that all of the zombies were actually demon possessed.
By the way, you guys can all thank Toshime for this.
You know what? You know. Screw it. That would work, wouldn't it? Just saying that the zombie army was actually camouflaged. They wanted us to have a false sense of security, and inadvertently blew away their ambush.
I had so many things planned.
No plan survives contact with the player. Rule 1.
I know that. I know that.
Do you need a hug?
I need a hug.
I gave you a hug.
I need more hugs.
Okay, after stream.
Yeah, I need actual time to get all these things statted out in actual character sheets because this is going to be a very complicated battle to run. Because I'm going to be running basically 3 battles at the exact same time.
All right. Well, on that note, mute yourself. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening for Tides of Madness Well, I guess today for Tides of Madness Exalted. I will be back in about a half hour with more streaming. We're going to move over to Subnautica. I'm just about to beat the game, so we're going to finish that up, and I might have something else that I stream later on. Thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. It is because of your support that I'm able to continue bringing these streams to you all. I will make sure Timmy gets plenty of hugs after the stream here. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining. Check out our website, grab some merch, and I do hope we see you all again next week.
Hey, if everyone's getting hugs, does that include the mesmer fish?
No.
Oh.
I've only been hit by one of those once. In the 2 playthroughs I've done.
All they want to do is hug your face.
Yeah, I'm aware. Anyways, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu. I'll be back soon.
Be well, folks.